Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button, and if you're returning, hit the likes button. I say thumbs button, but likes button. And even if you're just passing through, hit the likes button as well. So I'm sure you all heard of the I'm sure it's because it's been all over the internet, and it's really has been just a sad case of Madeline Soto. And she's a little girl who went missing on the 26th of February, and her remains were found, I believe, just a couple of days ago. And so prayers to her mom, who, I can't imagine how she's feeling right now, but prayers to her mom. But however, I wanted to get into this story because it's a very sad story. And play a little bit of the video of the mom's boyfriend, and kind of get into the story. And I'm sure if you all have been watching the news and the interviews with the mom, and you all have seen the interviews, and but I just wanted to kind of discuss it. But anyway, let's play a little bit of the video. She is a 13-year-old little girl, in case some of you haven't heard of the case, that lived in Orange County, Florida. And she went missing on Monday, and the mom's boyfriend supposedly had dropped her off at school. And when her mom went to pick her up on Monday, she was not at school and had not been at school all day. And this is where I think that the schools need to call. I don't know if they do, if they call early. I know in elementary school, they call if the child didn't go to school. They will call you a little earlier and say, Sally's not at school. Is she homesick? Middle schools, I think they call you at the end of the day and say your child did not attend class today, or your child was absent in first period or second period. I think that's how that works, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, they said that she hadn't been at school all day. And so the mom then, got worried and called, the police, and they put out, be on the lookout, I guess, or not be on the lookout, but, a missing persons report. So anyway, let's get in. I want you guys to watch a little bit of the video. There is an affidavit out as well, which we'll get into that in a little bit. But let's watch a little bit of the video, a little bit of the interview that was done by a news channel.
To walk to my mom's office, which is pretty close to the school as well. And she wasn't there. School, what we thought walked to school. My boyfriend who drove her to
on with Maddie.
Well, Monday morning, we took her to school. We dropped her off close to school, across the street from a church, which is it's right next to the school. She crossed the street and walked to school, what we thought walked to school. My boyfriend who drove her to school drove away at that point. It was seen on video footage that she hung out in the parking lot of the church for a few minutes and then got up and walked towards
This is the boyfriend in the background.
She never made it that walk and that was around 9 a.m.
That dropped her off at school.
She never made it to school after that. It's right next to the school. I don't know why she didn't make it. I don't know if something happened on her walk along the way or if she got taken, but she never made it.
And that was the last anyone seen of her or heard from her?
Yes. I went to pick her up after school, and she wasn't there. So I started driving around, maybe thinking she took a walk. Maybe she decided to walk to my mom's office, which is pretty close to the school as well. Drove around and I didn't see anything. I drove back to the school. The school was closed. I emailed one of her teachers. They confirmed that she was absent all day. At that point is when I called 911 because I realized something was truly wrong.
Have you heard from like any of her friends? Has she been active on any social media?
She hasn't been active on social media, none of her chats, none of her games. We did contact all her friends. None of them had seen her Monday or heard from her. Yeah, there's no update.
And I have to ask this, and I know I hate doing it, but is she the type that would run away? Has this happened in the past or anything? Has she ever threatened to run away?
Never. She's never ever mentioned anything like this before, and she's not the type to want to do this. She did accidentally leave her phone on Monday, which is kind of normal for her. She's got ADHD and very forgetful. So she left her phone at home, so there's no way to trace her. They tried tracing her school laptop, but that's off, so it's not pinging.
Okay. So he's in the background. There is another interview that I'm going to try to find where he is, and I might have to go to another YouTuber's channel just to kind of play bits and pieces of how upset he is. And this is the first interview, and so he's kind of lurking in the background. And as the mom is, telling how, everything's going on, and he's dropped her off. I want to try to find that interview. If you all will be patient with me, let me go to this other YouTuber's channel to see if I can't just play a little bit off of their channel for just a moment. I want to play that because I want you all to see he's more upset than the mother. Hold on just a moment here. He is more upset than the mother. And he's, they're asking, you seem to be more upset than the mother. And he says, I just feel so guilty. And, they're saying, and all the while, this is the man that, did the crime. But let me see here. I will let you all hear this. Okay, I think I found, let's see if I could play this one here. Let's see if I can share that screen with you all. And I can, they'll have this one. Let's see what this one is. This is a picture of him very upset that he was very upset here. And this is when he was they were doing the interview, and he was doing the interview with the mom. The mom did the interview first, and then he did this interview, and he was just boohooing, crying, and saying how he was so upset because if he would have known, he just didn't have the time. He had dropped her off, and if he would have known, he would have waited, and all of this time. Well, it brings us back to he then was caught later on. They had called him in for questioning because they found evidence on his phone and pictures of inappropriate pictures. Now, there was speculation that these inappropriate pictures was of Madeline and other underage children. And there was speculation that maybe the mom might have known. I don't want to speculate. I would not even, at this point, I wouldn't even speculate that the mom would know. I don't know. But I don't want to even go there. But it's just a sad case. And if she did, shame on her, but I don't even want to go there. I don't even want to speculate and go there. I, however, as a mother, raising 3 girls, I was very careful with leaving my girls with, matter of fact, I didn't even date when my girls were growing up because I did not want that problem of leaving my girls with someone that would even touch them. And I, because I think I would have lost it. I would have lost it. And so I didn't want that, so this is just a tragic case all the way around. To leave, a 13-year-old child in the hands of a predator like this is just sickening. And then to have him put on this act and to cry and say, oh, he made a comment and said that she was sleeping. Because they asked, what was the conversation like on the way to school? And he said, oh, she was sleeping. Now, okay, she got up, got dressed. You were driving her to school and she slept on the way to school. That doesn't sound right. So she got up, she got dressed to get in the car to go to sleep. And I think, he gave himself away because the reason they found him and knew it was him and focused in on this car is because they had cameras. And on the cameras, which I'm going to play the press conference here in a little bit. The cameras followed the car, and in the car, they seen her in the car and knew that she looked like she was already unalived in that car. So they think that she was already unalived when she was put into the car. So she was probably unalived, and whatever happened before she left the home. And I'm going to now find the press conference, and I will let you guys watch a little bit more of this interview with the mom. And then I'm going to find the press conference of when the story broke, and then also when they found her remains. I'm sorry I have to keep interrupting, but it's for copyrights. I do have to stop the video and do commentary on it for copyrights.
Like her personal belongings, and nothing is hers. So I'm not sure where to go from here. I'm just contacting the news to get the word out, to get some help, because I'm desperate. I'm a wreck right now.
So you think that she's been taken against her will?
I do think so, yes.
As a mom, what's your mother's intuition telling you right now?
I'm trying to hope for the best, but I'm scared for her. I want her to be okay, and I want her to be safe. I don't want her to come back harmed. I just want her back, whatever that means. I just want her back.
Are you getting any updates from law enforcement? I mean, yes, they're searching that small area, but have they gotten any hits on any scent or anything like that?
They haven't let me know anything. They haven't updated me since I spoke to them this morning. I've contacted them to get some information or to give them some leads, but I've heard nothing back.
And Jen, there's no way that she just being, a teenager was like, maybe had a fight with you or an argument with you and was like, you know what, I'm going to go hang out at so-and-so's house and teach her a lesson. Could that be a scenario?
I don't believe so. We actually haven't gotten into a fight in like a few weeks or arguments or anything like that. If anything, on Sunday, she celebrated her 13th birthday with my entire family, and she had the best day. She was so happy. She showed us all her gifts. Um, she's just a happy girl, and she showed it on Sunday night when she went to bed. She was so happy. So, she had the best day. I just, there was no moment in that evening from when she got home from the party that she had her phone or had the laptop. She went straight to getting ready and went to bed. So I know she didn't have any conversations with anyone. She didn't make plans with anyone. I didn't see any of that.
So she's spent the whole Sunday celebrating her 13th birthday. Was her 13th birthday on that Sunday, or that was just like the time you guys were celebrating?
That was the time we were celebrating. Her birthday was on Thursday, the 22nd.
Okay,
She
so
just turned 13.
that's just so heartbreaking to be celebrating her 13th birthday, and then the very next day,
She's
that's
gone.
the last you've seen of her.
Yeah.
I mean, where do you go now? Are you gonna go out there and search or look, or what is are you sticking by the phone? Are what are you doing?
I'm staying at home, staying by the phone, hoping she just appears. Um, I know my entire family is out looking. They've all spread a bunch of flyers. I've had people contact me that they've gone to the international airport to spread flyers, to Amtrak, to Greyhound, just any way that if someone's taken her and they're trying to take her, just to show her face, just to make sure, she's not being taken against her will.
And you mentioned ADHD. Was there anything else maybe mentally on, or that you knew of?
She does suffer from anxiety, and once upon a time she was diagnosed with autism. We had her what's the word?
Brained, maybe?
Reevaluated.
Okay.
We had
Okay, so um and she had autism. Ah, just a sad case. So this was when she first went missing. And so a couple of days later, they found her remains. And so here is the police, the news conference. And I want to, let's see if this one or this one. Okay, let me see which screen. I was trying to see which screen I wanted to share. Let's see. I'll do this one. Okay.
There's her mom with her daughter, teenage daughter. You know, the bond between mom and daughter is special. It's absolutely special. But a man has been arrested. Stephen Stearns, there he is.
The boyfriend.
This is tough. The Orange County Sheriff's Office announced something on Twitter X. Let's take a look at what they have to say tonight. Madeline Soto's body has been found at about 4:30 today off of Hickory Tree Road in Osceola County. The Sheriff's Office search teams located the body of Madeline Soto in a wooded area. Her family has been notified. There's no additional information to release, and Kissimmee PD is the lead agency in this homicide investigation. You know, you hold on to the hope to the last moment, right? You're just hoping that maybe, you know, she's locked up somewhere and you'll find her alive, but that's not the case here. Here's the Orange County Sheriff with more information tonight.
Our detectives have determined that Madeline was never dropped off on the morning of February 26th near her school. Instead, we believe she was already dead at the time and that Stephen Stearns moved her body in the early morning hours on that day. We have video evidence that shows Stephen Stearns discarding items in a dumpster in that apartment complex in Kissimmee at 7:35 on Monday, February 26th. Detectives later recovered Madeline's backpack and her school-issued laptop from that dumpster. At 8:19, we have evidence that shows Stephen Stearns returning to the complex and Madeline was visible in that vehicle. We believe she was already dead at that time.
Okay, folks, first court appearance is happening tomorrow, Saturday, for Stephen Stearns. And now that Madeline's body has been found, things have gotten much, much more definitive, I believe, in this case. Let's bring back in our think tank, Bernardo Villalona, Brian Watkins, Ben Chu with us. Brian, it seems to me this is a case that's
So I cannot wait to keep following this story and just see where it goes and see what evidence comes out and just hear more about it. And you know, I think that, you know, as parents, and I know I'm not trying to shame anyone, I'm not trying to say, you know, but I think, you know, we just all need to be aware and careful of who we bring around our children. And even though we might trust who we're dealing with, who we're dating, even who we're married to, when we have young children, we need to just literally keep our eyes open and, you know, have a watchful eye to our children and pay attention, and, you know, to what's going on with our children. Because you don't want things like this to happen. And I think that especially for children that are not, when you're having a boyfriend come into the picture, and you do have young children and even young adults, even teenage children, you need to be careful with bringing men around, boys and young girls, period. We need to be more aware of who we're bringing around our children, because, you know, you just never know. You never know what you're bringing around. I've done we hear about stories, and I've done a couple of stories on this channel about, you know, the boyfriends coming into the picture, and I'm sure we've all heard numerous stories about this happening with our children. And so I think that we just need to be cautious. And I know that, you know, as single mothers, you know, we're you know, lonely or whatever, but I think that our children need to come first. And I think that we just need to be more aware and cautious of what we're bringing around our children. And, you know, I hope that this guy gets what he deserves. I hope that, you know, that they throw the book at him. I hope that he does not have a chance to do this to any other child out there. I hope that, you know, he has time to think, and every day that he sits in that jail cell, that he has time to think about what he did. And how dare he sit on the interview and give an interview and shed one tear? How dare he do that? Because he sat there and he cried and was very manipulative, and cried and said, you know, oh, you know, I'm sad because I could have been there. How dare you? How dare you? And it just irritates me. It angers me and it irritates me that he sat behind there and knowingly did what he did and put on that performance, knew that this mother was suffering, and the hurt that was in her voice when she said, I just want my daughter to be okay. And he sat there right beside her and cried and said, oh, you know, how hurt he was, knowing that he had already unalived her child. And he sat there crying as if he was so hurt. That's evil, pure evil. And I don't think that it can get any evil. Anyone can be that evil, any more evil, I should say, than that. And so I just, I don't know. I just, you know, but, you know, I think that even in this time, we still have to stop and say, pray for this guy. Even in this time, pray for him. And that's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to do. It's a very hard thing to do. I'm going to pray for the mother. I pray that, you know, God gives her strength, because this must be hard for her, that the person that she thought that she could trust took her child and did God awful things to her child. So I'm going to pray for her strength, and I'm going to pray for the family. And I'm going to ask God to give me strength to do what he wants me to do. with this guy, because he tells us to do that all the time. And I'm working on that with myself. So I'm going to follow the story because I'm interested in what happens with this guy. Because I don't think that I could, I think that I would just be fueled with anger, knowing that he sat there beside me with these fake tears, crying, knowing how hurt I was and how scared I was for my daughter, not knowing where she was, and you sat there and you cried. I think I would just be so fueled with anger. I don't know what to do. So, I'm going to follow it, and just because I'm interested and curious, and I would like to know what happens with this guy. So, little Madeline, may you rest in peace. May you rest in heaven. And I'm glad, that the kid, that her mom got some type of resolve, and not the resolve that she may have wanted, and not, what she have wanted. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and go back and watch some of my other videos, and please hit the subscribe button and the likes button. And thank you all so much for watching. I am going to do another video on another young lady after this. And so please continue to watch my videos. And until next time, bye.